Who knew the most passionate love story of 2025 would be between a warrior and her horse, giving a whole new meaning to Ride or Die? Set in a brutal fantasy world full of warlords, magic, and more creatures than a D&D campaign gone wild, Red Sonja reintroduces us to the flame-haired rogue. She's carving her way through tyrants, monsters, and yes, sharing a surprisingly tender bond with her trusty steed. It's a world of swords, fire, and more one-liners than an 80s VHS collection. Matilda Lutz brings the muscle, grit, and razor-sharp choreography as Red Sonja. She fully commits to being an all-out action woman, swings swords like the extensions of her arms, and glares like she's staring down fate itself. Opposite her, Robert Sheehan has the time of his life as the Tyrant Dragon. He chews up the scenery with maniacal charm, tossing out monologues like Shakespeare on a caffeine binge. Michael Bisping continues his Hollywood climb, delivering a solid performance that proves he's more than just fists. Meanwhile, the film sprinkles in legends like Ronan Mitra, reminding us that fantasy always needs a familiar face. Every actor here seems to throw their heart and occasionally their whole body into their role, and it pays off. Visually, the movie surprises. There's sweeping pan shots of landscapes that make the world feel rich and lived in, like you could wander off set and still find another battle happening somewhere else. The special effects are solid, though the real magic lies in the practical work. They literally built a forest and then burn it down. Don't panic, no trees were harmed in the making, but the effect is as raw and real as old school sword and sorcery cinema. That mix of traditional craft with modern polish feels like a nod to the original. Madeline Bassett, MJ's daughter, handled the makeup and it's impressive. From battle war paint to baboon faced creatures, the designs make this fantasy world pop. Now, the story itself is where things wobble. At its core, it's a classic warrior's tale with enough fantasy beasts and lore to kickstart a franchise. But then the dialogue stumbles. Dipped in a pool of cheese, one liners often feel like they wandered in from a different movie. It doesn't sink the film, but it does occasionally break the immersion. That said, there's ambition here. The world is dense with creatures, terrains, and lore begging for a bigger budget. You can feel the filmmakers testing the waters for a revival of the grand, pulpy fantasy genre. And yes, my hashtag Bring Back Conan campaign still stands. The universe deserves expansion. Sadly, Arnold Schwarzenegger's rumored cameo didn't make it in, but you can tell the spirit of his era hovers over this project. Red Sonja isn't perfect, but it's a spirited, fiery swing at reviving sword and sorcery cinema. It has the right energy, the right cast, and just enough world building to make us want more. Give it a bigger budget and smooth out the cheese, and you've got the beginnings of a franchise worth sharpening the blade for. Hashtag bring back Conan.